August 1st has arrived and it brought a ton of banger sets. And one of those sets, in my opinion, is this one right here in front of the camera. Now, the one thing that Michelle and I really enjoy about Lego is taking some simple bricks like a 2x4 or a 1x2 or a 1x3 or any of the other bricks and pieces that are made by Lego, and well, it allows you to build masterpieces, in my opinion, like this. This is the minifig vending machine. If you have not picked up this set and have the ability to do so, this thing is an absolute 10 out of 10. The minifigs are great. The actual build process to get everything to work is phenomenal. It's a great set, but we're not talking about that set right now. What we are talking about is this set right here. Now, I know you're probably thinking to yourself, well, it just looks like an arcade machine. Hey, I remember going to the arcade and playing on machines like this and just trying to get as many games as I could out of the quarters that I was given. Those were the days. But this is not a simple vending or a simple vending machine. This is not a simple arcade machine. It's what's inside of this build that I think Lego knocked it out of the park. It's the creativity like that that just draw Michelle and I to Lego. So let's go ahead, unbox this bad boy, get into the review, because man, we have a lot to talk about. And here is the gamer minifig that resides inside the arcade unit. So we got some blue jean colored legs. Then we have a burgundy shirt as well as a gray colored styled hoodie. Now, I really wish there would have been maybe like some kind of a printing or something like that of the game or the arcade unit. That would have been pretty cool. Now, flipping it around to the back side, also, we do have a little bit of detail here with like the hoodie and some ripples. Again, if there would have been like some kind of detailed printing there of the arcade unit that he's living inside of, space or something like that would have been pretty cool. Now, flipping it around back over to the front, it does have a decent detailed printing. So it has like a 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock shadow on the minifig's face. And we've seen that printing before. And then when it comes to the actual hairpiece, we've seen that hairpiece before and it's in a orangey looking color. So it is a little basic. I would have loved a little more printing detail, but it's good enough. And now, without further ado, the piece de resistance. The arcade unit itself, the designer did a fantastic job bringing this iconic piece of machinery to life in brick form. Hats off to them. Now, there is a mixture of printed and also stickers, so we're going to go ahead and go through all of that. And if you don't see here already and haven't read the top sticker right there, this is a space themed arcade machine, which is pretty cool because, again, man, in the 80s and early 90s, arcades were like the spot to be. And I remember as a kid running in there begging my parents for quarters that I could go ahead and play some of the video games like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Street Fighter and, all the type of stuff like that. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get to some of the details. So, again, at the top here where it says space, that is indeed a sticker. Very nice details. Now, there is a lot of stickers in this set, but they're very detailed, so I kind of feel like the juice is worth the squeeze. Now, one of the contentions that I have here is that I wish they would have made this in a glossy finish. It's not the camera that is making this thing look a little fuzzy. It is literally the actual printing piece. It doesn't look bad, but if it was glossy, I think the colors would pop a little bit more. And it kind of throws it off because everything else around it is glossy. But that is a printed piece of the space video game that you're supposed to be playing. So, yeah, but I mean, would have been nice if it was glossy. Okay, looking further down, there's another sticker around the bottom, which just gives it some more arcade flair to the arcade unit. Now we do have some knobs here and as well as some buttons. Nice color choices there. It really kind of pops off of that red and black background. Now, one of the things that they added, and let me see if I can get this camera to focus. There you go. One of the things that they added, which I don't think is going to necessarily be used very much. I'm trying to see if I can find the coin that goes with it. Give me a second here. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so it does come with these silver coins that are printed, and it comes with three of these. And I think this is kind of cool that they added this play feature. I don't see a lot of people using this feature, but hey, it's there and it is what it is. So these two slots right here, you literally just go ahead and put the coin in and it comes out the bottom. It's cool that they added it. Now, by the way, there is two coin slots because this is a two-player game and you can actually see yeah, there it is. You can actually see the, gaming going on in the two-player of the ships that are on the screen. Now, flipping it around to the left-hand side, we have a printed piece right here. And very nice printing. It's a spaceship flying through space and some nice detail with some purple and all that good stuff. Now, flipping it around over to the backhand side, you have what would be a sticker that's going to give you some information on the arcade system itself, like what power it requires and all that other good stuff. Now, a cool thing that they added here is this little vent. Now, what this is for, to me, the way that it was built, looks like that fan system that's going to be pushing air in here to then cool down the system while it's being used. So, pretty sweet. Nice little detail right there. Now, turning it over to the next side, again, same exact printing. It's just a nice little flair to add to the arcade system. As you're walking through the arcade, it's the artwork that kind of draws you to the game, and then you look a little bit further to see what the game is all about. Very cool. Again, they did an absolute banger job designing this. I wish it was a little bit bigger, but that's okay. It's all good. The brick form and how they had to, make this fit within its certain price range. But man, it is such a cool little build. Now, inside of this, there are a ton of details. So we're going to have to I'm just going to go ahead and show you what it looks like when it opens. But there's so much for the camera to focus on. It's a little difficult for it to actually capture a nice point for it to focus on. So we're going to go ahead and split this up into two sides. So we're going to do the left side first and then the right side. So let's go ahead and get to those details. So starting off with the shutters that are at the very top, to me they look like shutters. This is basically a dwelling inside of an arcade unit, which is pretty cool. So you have to have some kind of windows, right? And those are going to be the shutters. Now, looking at the right-hand side of that wall, there is another sticker there with a fan and also what seems to be like the CPU unit and all that good stuff that's running the arcade unit, as well as like some conduit for wires and such. And there's also a little picture on there that says game and then a vent. Now, slightly below that, there's going to be two interpretations right here, and I'm not sure exactly which one Lego was going for when it comes to that white and gold figurine. Now, gamers like to buy the characters from their specific game, like Final Fantasy and all those different characters that are out there that, there's companies out there that make some very good detailed molds of those characters. And I feel like that's what Lego was trying to represent with these two statues. Now, they could also end up being awards or, trophies that this gamer won with all the different games that they played. So I don't know which way to go with it. I'm going to go with they're just, they put these in there for, signifying that they purchased some characters that they just really, really like. That's what I'm going to go with, and that's what I'm going to stick to. Now, a little bit to the left, there is a shelf with a three 1x2s in different colors with also some stickers on them. Now, we all do this. I've seen this done before. Again, I feel like Lego talked to a gamer. These are the boxes of the gaming consoles that this minifig has purchased over the years. This is such a cool detail here. We all do it. We keep the boxes, we put them on display. So nice little shout out to the gaming like community right there. Now, right below that shelf, we have two pictures, which is basically some artwork. We have a arcade unit as well as a minifig. I don't know what it's doing. Looks like it's running, but it seems to be playing in a universe as well. Now, below that artwork, we have a brown couch with a gaming console controller on top of it, which is so cool. We've all done this in the past. We're gaming, we're going to go pick up a drink or grab something to eat, and then we just go ahead and throw the controller on the couch. And when we're ready to come back to it, so such a cool little shout out right there. Now, slightly to the right of that, we have a we have an arcade unit inside of an arcade unit, which I think is hilarious, but it's a cool miniature brick built arcade. And the way that they pulled this off, This might be one of the things that we do in our city, make a nice little arcade area. And well, we're going to use that build right there because it came out perfect. All right, so now we're going to highlight some of the details on the right hand side. So we have a massive gray pipe. That's what I'm trying to tell you. This minifig is living inside of an arcade unit. This is like an apartment. It's so funny. But we have a large gray pipe with a actual wheel to like stop the water flow and all that good stuff. Now, slightly below that pipe, we do have I guess it'd be a sword from a video game that they decided to purchase, and they have it hanging up on the wall. And then right next to that, to me, I don't know if they're trying to signify the ship that's inside the game of the arcade system that you're inside, or they're showing off what looks to me one of or two of or a couple of the different space builds that have come out over the last couple of years that use the exact same colors. I feel like that's what they're trying to signify, but I could be wrong. Now, lightly below that, there is a shelf with just a bunch of books, which I'm thinking are going to be gaming cartridges, but they just didn't put any stickers or anything like that on there. But yeah, that's what that looks like to me. Now, below that, we have a massive sticker with a bunch of details here. So we have a miniature built arcade unit on the shelf, as well as a robot. Then we have some books, and then to the right of that, we have like, I don't know if it's a fly head or an ant head, but it's one of those two, which is just really cool. Then we have a TV with some speakers. Behind that, we also have a handheld console. I'm sorry, console. Well, yeah, handheld console, as well as a console and some headphones, which I think is very cool. And then we have a brick built, which I'm thinking is a CRT TV. Because this thing is huge. It's obviously not a flat screen, so it's a CRT monitor. That's what it looks like to me, which I think is great. It's just such a call out to like old school gaming. Now, to the left of that, there's a little brick built kind of container for storing the coins that you would use for the front. And then behind that, it looks like to me is a table of some sort. I don't know if it's supposed to signify anything else, but to me, it looks like a table. Whew, that is a lot of details to rattle off. Hopefully, I covered all of them. But yes, such a cool build inside of this arcade unit. It's an apartment inside of an arcade unit. Come on, that's the best of both worlds. Now, I know for the last couple of minutes I've been doing some gushing about this arcade system. It is just such a cool build. I wish all of the pieces were printed, obviously, especially with the screen. If it was printed and it give that glossy effect, that would have been perfect. It would have highlighted the colors way more than that matte finish, but it is what it is. Also, on top of that, it does suffer from the dimple. I'm going to see if I can take a picture of that so I can show it off a little bit more. It does suffer from the dimple in the middle, which, man, I just wish that didn't exist, but I guess it is what it is. But all in all, I think that this is a fantastic set. Now, I do know that this is a lot of nostalgia here. So for the younger people, they may not get it. But for us that have actually lived through the arcade era and loved doing the whole arcade crawl of going from game to game to game, this is such a nostalgic little build for me. I absolutely love it, especially. It's not just an arcade from the outside, it's a dwelling. It's like an apartment inside of the arcade system. I just think they did a banger job. And also for the price, I don't think you can beat it. You get a minifig, a fantastic detail build, some printed pieces. Yeah, all in all, I think it's a winner winner chicken dinner. If you found this review informative, do us a favor and go down there and hit this video with a like. If you want to see more content like this when it comes to reviews and builds and just Lego overall, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and don't forget to hit the notification bell. It just drops you a nice little notification letting you know that we have dropped some new content. Let me know in the comment section below, did you pick up this build? What did you think about it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know in those comment sections below. While you're out there looking for Lego, looking for that perfect set for you, be safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.